So, very good morning and welcome to Engelberg on Sunday, the 28th of December. Yes, it is just the morning, but coming up to the afternoon here for the fourth competition in the Continental Cup Series, which dates back to 1992. Some previous champions of the Continental Cup with us today. As we get underway, 61 competitors from 14 countries. And it's young Elias Arnold, only 17, to get us underway. 44th yesterday, didn't make the final round. And looking for that calculation line at 125 meters to earn 60 points for distance. Unfortunately, way short for him, but he's a junior who's been involved in Alpine Cup and FIS Cup. And the Continental Cup, the second tier of competitions in the world of ski jumping, on the staircase, the stairway to the World Cup, and the Alpine and FIS Cups, also important steps below Continental Cup. And below that, the children's competitions. Marius Sieber now for Switzerland. A little more experience than Elias Arnold. But 97.5 meters, I'm afraid. Both of them have had a very disappointing morning, and you can see 10 points of backwind compensation. That's more than a 5-meter boost. And now Finland and Paavo Rompainen, 22 years of age, just outside the top 30 in Ruka. In the World Cup, not this season, but last season. Has got some better form from the Continental Cup in the summer at Stams, where he was top 10, but yesterday really disappointing outside the top 50. And just to pause, we're just outside the corridor of tolerance with the wind that's just gusted a little bit. Just a reminder that yesterday, Clemens Leitner of Austria took the honors ahead of his Austrian teammate Markus Müller. David Kubacki from Poland dropped from the Polish team for the Four Hills, a real surprise. It's been a long, long time since Kubacki, something like a decade, that he's been in the Continental Cup, but needed to come back to Continental Cup to take the pressure off, to try and resolve his issues on the in-run. Clemens Eigner of Austria was fourth yesterday ahead of Yukiya Sato, a really experienced top of the table. And it's likely to be that way today in the trial round. David Kubacki, 136 meters. Felix Strunz, 129.5 meters. Clemens Eigler, 134. This was from gate 18. And that's the gate we're on at the moment. Sylvestrand, 134.5 meters. Benjamin Ersfeld, who's got a yellow card warning, 128.5 meters. Markus Müller, 136. Clemens Leitner, best in the trial round today at 134 meters overall. Paavo Rompainen out for the second time of asking, and this time the green light's on. Coming down through the compression onto the table. Shallow trajectory there from Paavo, and that will not serve him well. The timing, the transition didn't work outside the top 50 yesterday, and likely to occupy the same position today, or a similar position I should say, but probably no Continental Cup points for the men who go into the final round. Only the best 30 to qualify. And next man up, Janne Holtz from Germany, another teenager, only 18. 34th yesterday, that wasn't too bad. Graduating out of Alpine Cup in places like Oberstdorf, where on the normal hill he's been successful. A little more encouraging there for Janne. But 113.5 meters, that is 11.5 behind the calculation line, less than 100 points. And of course 1.8 points coming off for each meter short of the calculation line. And Dero Cap now for Estonia. Also yet to reach his 20th birthday. And I'm afraid that's a lot of deductions as well for Andero. He was another athlete who was outside the top 60, but we need to keep this in perspective. This is another teenager who has actually been in the top 20 in the Continental Cup in Lahti, but generally graduating out of Alpine and FIS Cup competitions. Now, Benjamin Ersfeld, disqualified yesterday, and I'll come to that in a moment. Former overall winner of the Continental Cup, and commands the table. Way up there, 134 meters. Benjamin, who won the Continental Cup overall title in 2023. And leading the way, but hoping that today's going to be a better day than yesterday. Slovenia now, Nejda Toporis. And Ersfeld yesterday, the ski length was illegal by 0.5 centimeters. And as a result of that, a yellow card. And 2 yellow cards mean that you miss the next competition. Sergei Tukashenko of Kazakhstan. The boot size there was exceeded the legal limit by 0.7 centimeters. Finn Braun from Germany. The crotch control was wrong, as you see. Sergei Tukashenko. Sergei Tukashenko, 26 years of age, from Kazakhstan, as I mentioned a few moments ago, one of 4 who were disqualified yesterday. So Tukashenko with a yellow card under a warning. And next up here for the Czech Republic, Daniel Skorka. Yet to make his mark. Skorka has been close to the top 30, and that's actually not too bad. 116, it's fair. Puts him into 4th place. Benjamin Ersfeld massively ahead of everybody at the moment by some 35 points. That's not unexpected, but now Jakob Volny, a really miserable day at the office yesterday. This is a man who has actually won here at Continental Cup level some, 5 seasons ago. And Volny's a really good example of an athlete who's out of form, coming back down from World Cup, not able to maintain his position there. 4 Continental Cup successes in his career and a 4th place in Vikersund at World Cup level, the best he's managed to date. Rikuta Watanabe, and just to say, of course, Noriaki Kasai, the legend Noriaki, is with us today. And that's his teammate, Rikuta Watanabe. 36th yesterday, but of course only the top 30 will make the cut. Watanabe up into 3rd place, 4.5 meters short of the calculation line. And Emmanuel Schmidt now outside the top 50 yesterday, so looking to improve on that, representing Germany. One of a few who have got this yellow card warning, this yellow and red card system introduced as part of the equipment control regulations following the scandal last season of the suit manipulation problems. Benjamin Ersfeld from Janne Holtz, that's the 1-2 at the moment. Lasse Daimel. $122 meters from Lasse. And apologies for the pause there. A few gremlins with our pictures at the moment. And apologies if you lost your pictures. They're back now. And Svenningsen landing there for Norway with 117 meters. That'll be good enough, I think, for the top 5 indeed. Apologies once again if you lost the pictures momentarily. And Canada now. Encouraging to see another athlete for Canada. It's a small reservoir of talent, led, of course, by Mackenzie Boyd-Close in World Cup, who's been struggling, but Tarek van Veeren, you can see there 8 points of backwind compensation. Harry Repela and Finn Braun. Finn Braun to go first, and 119 meters, 6 meters short of the calculation line, but those 16s and the 4.2 points helping him up into 3rd place. Finn 23 years of age, and he was one of the 4 disqualified from yesterday, so hoping that today there are no such problems. Ari Repelin for France now. Over to his right there, just suggesting a little bit of imbalance coming off the table between left and right legs. And 107. Again, to put this in perspective, he's a man graduating out of the junior ranks just now. So Benjamin Østfelder of Norway leading at the moment from Lasse Daimel of Germany, Finn Braun, his German teammate, in 3rd place, and Janne Holtz of Germany in 4th. Thomas Mais. Next to go. Here he is, bib number 20, 20 years of age. One of several who were outside the top 50 yesterday. Well, puts the Telemark landing in, has yet to finish in the top 30 in any Continental Cup competition. And that, sadly for him, is a long way off the mark. He was top 20 in the Junior Worlds last season, so there is a real prospect. And the Finns rebuilding at the moment, which is really encouraging. Bryce Clutch, United States. Top 40 yesterday, just inside the top 40. Short of what's required. He was involved with the US team that got a bronze medal at the Junior Worlds last season in Lake Placid. Lake Placid having some reconstruction work at the moment, but it'll be back with us soon, particularly for World Cup, I think, next season, which is good news because since we've returned with World Cup, it's been really good there. Saberjan Muminov, tremendous experience at World Cup level as well as Continental Cup level. And I think this is the right place for him at the moment. 30 years of age. As high as 36th in the World Cup competition in Villingen some 3 seasons ago. That's the best that Saberjan has managed at World Cup level. And Yannick Feiss now for Germany. Germany youngsters piling up pretty high in the order at the moment. Germany, who'll be hoping for success in the Four Hills, which gets underway later today. 2002 since Sven Hannevald achieved that Grand Slam. They haven't won the Four Hills, and they would be really pleased to do it. The German team excited about participating. Østfelder, Daimel, Braun, Holtz, and still almost 30 points clear is Benjamin Østfelder of all those who preceded him. And I'm afraid that won't qualify. Nikita Devyatkin of Kazakhstan. No Russian or Belarus athletes in the lineup, but of course, many of you may have picked up on the fact that the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Switzerland has ruled that athletes from Belarus and Russia must be allowed to qualify and compete in the competitions and the build-up to the Olympic Games. Enzo Milasi, France. Better. Early 20s. 7th in the Junior Worlds in Zakopane about 3 seasons ago, if my memory serves me right. and up into second place, still over 20 points, so over 10 meters behind Benjamin Ersveld, but second place for the young Frenchman, encouraging. Milesi, who finished 30th yesterday, got 1 Continental Cup point, and here's the man who got 2 Continental Cup points, Benedikt Hulub for the Czech Republic. Can he build on that? He's been on the podium at FIS Cup level, 5 years ago. Now 25 years of age, this Czech athlete, and that puts him into 10th place, but an awful lot of talent to come. He may not make the cut today. He only just made it yesterday. Fredrik Gran now for Norway. 4 Continental Cup points yesterday. That was nicely done, and the telemark landing, he should keep the points together. 16.5, 17 I think would be a fair mark, right on the calculation line. 60 points for distance, top 3, encouraging. Yet to finish in the top 25 of a Continental Cup competition, and now here's a good example of a talent trying to recapture great days. Lovrokos, that's better. Lovrokos, 26 years of age, a 2-time World Cup winter winner in Lahti and Lake Placid a couple of seasons ago. And up into second place. This man, who was a member of the gold medal winning team at the World Championships in Trondheim for Slovenia just last season. Adrian Tittel for Germany. Should be able to make his mark. But this is Bjertomt, excuse me, and a little wobble on landing. He had a tumble yesterday, no harm done. 122, that's not bad. 35th yesterday, but looking for a place in the top 30, and now this is Adrian Tittel. In the points, Continental Cup points. But can he follow up here? Benjamin Ersveld from Lovrokos, Enzo Milesi in 3rd place, ahead of Fredrik Gran. Norway, Slovenia, France, Norway, Lasse Daimel into 5th place, and Adrian Tittel 13th place. He'll be really disappointed with that. He's better than that, Adrian. Junior world bronze medalist in Planica last season. Decker Dean, subpar yesterday for the United States. He's better than that. Short on distance. 123, only a couple of meters short, and the style marks are okay. 3 meters worth of backwind compensation, 4th place. A little more encouraging for the man from Steamboat Springs. Got a World Cup best of 26 from Willingen has Decker Dean. Alessandro Batby for another French challenge. And that's not too bad. This is really encouraging to see this number of young French athletes. We haven't seen this in the world of ski jumping for quite a long time. Nicolas Dessum, who the only Frenchman ever to win a Winter World Cup, that was in Sapporo in the 90s, in charge of the World Cup team, and it's encouraging to see this level of talent. And Batby for France into 6th place, 2 French lads in the top 6. And Jaroslav Krzyzak next to go for Poland. (33rd) yesterday, so not far away from actually having a look at this. No, he was outside the top 40. My apologies for getting that wrong. But he has finished in the top 20 in Ruka, Kusamo. But you've got to look back 3 seasons for that. And once again, the red light on. We're outside that corridor of tolerance. Just a reminder, of course, here on FIS TV, it's Four Hills Day, the opening of the 74th edition, for which Domen Prejec, the Slovenian who's had 5 victories so far this season and leads the Wiesmann World Cup standings to win the Four Hills. He's the odds-on favourite to win today, well, tomorrow's opening competition, as it will be 11-10. Some very skinny odds. Really, really hard to win the Four Hills, and Domen hoping to emulate his big brother Petter, who won in 2016. Krzyzak. Fair. Now, 117, 12 points of backwind compensation. That helps a little bit. 7th place. Only 30 required to go into the final round, so he's on the margins. And Finland now. Thomas Kuisma got a point in the World Cup at Lahti last season on Finnish snow for finishing 30th. Not very elegant, and the star judges will note that. You can see there 15.5, and those are fair marks. Down the order, I'm afraid. 16th place in jeopardy. But the next man in the red for Switzerland, Yannick Wasser, already a World Cup point scorer this season on this hill just before Christmas. 28th place, 3 World Cup points. Yannick, top 10 in the Junior Worlds in Planica in 2024. And he's not yet qualified, but I can tell you that Benjamin Ørsfeld of Norway, Lovro Kos of Slovenia, Enzo Milesi of France, and Decadine of the United States are all involved for the second round. They're in the points. Remo Imhoff now has lost his way in the last couple of seasons. Remo, only 22, but wind the clock back to Lahti 2023, he was top 20 there. So he has the ability. Not enough points to qualify automatically at the moment. Fredrik Gran of Norway now. He's into the final round, and Zavnik for Slovenia. Well, 121 meters, it doesn't get him automatically into the final round, but Alessandro Batby of France is now into the final round, and now David Riegel for the Czech Republic.
zwei Ränge von der Qualifikation fürs Finale entfernt. Jan Basser dürfte es jetzt dann langsam leuchten und auch
47th yesterday, David Riegel, and whether he makes the top 30, very, very marginal now. Nicholas Bachlinger. If he gets this right, he is a man who can really challenge the junior world champion of 2021, which I think was in Lahti, if my memory serves me correctly. A lot of height and flight there from Bachlinger. This is the man who had success in Courchevel and Wisła in the Summer Grand Prix. Just a whisker, half a meter short of the calculation line, and top 3 for Bachlinger. Automatically qualifies for the final round. This is where the order gets a little bit more interesting. Jules Servet for France. He's been in and out of World Cup. Was involved in the opening of the World Cup this season in Lillehammer when he got a 38th place finish, which was his best so far at World Cup level. Benjamin Erstfeld still leading from Lovro-Kost. Simon Steinberger now. Steinberger next to go. Disqualified yesterday. And that was a disqualification because the permeability of the suit was illegal. By which I mean there was too much air and too much volume inside the suit. And Steinberger out of contention, but this man might well play a part. Hannes Landerer, Austria. Nicely done. Hannes, who was 13th yesterday. 129 meters, decent style marks. Little bit of front wind there. You can see that he's lost a meter because of front wind advantage. But 4th place, he's just about 10 meters behind Erstfeld. And now Kilian Payer looked a lot better in the trial round. Now, can he back that up? That's better. That's more like the Kilian Payer that we've been looking for. A lot of these men would love to be involved in the 4 hills, but they know realistically in this Olympic season that to find their form and get their way back to perhaps have a chance to jump in Predazzo, that would be a great opportunity. Kilian Payer into 2nd place, and now Felix Truntz, his Swiss teammate. In good form, Felix. And that's another good effort when it matters most. Front wind, just a breath of it, but 134 meters, that's up there with Erstfeld and Kilian Payer. And 3rd place, and pushes Lovro-Kost down to 4th. The front 3 at the moment, all 134 meters, 7 points separating the top 3. Jarkko Mata. Encouraging for Finland. Top 10 years ago when he finished 8th in Lahti. And he's been successful at this level. Jarkko, 2013, 2016, he won Continental Cup competitions in Kuopio. Faletic, representing Slovenia. 9th yesterday, good points. Then gate number 46, Slovenia, Ede Faletic. Well, 138 meters. That is rather special. But you can see the difference between front wind deduction there, losing 2 of those to take him down to 136. Still slightly mystified, but Benjamin Erstfeld, of course, had backwind compensation of 7.4 points, so a difference of over 5 meters. That's the reason that Erstfeld is still in the lead. But Ene Faletic in 2nd place for Slovenia. Very good indeed. Jürgen Ström now, Norway. Mid-20s. Respectable, promising 7th place here. Just 24 hours ago. Well, slightly less than that, in fact. As we're just into the early part of the afternoon, Noriaki Kasai getting ready. And that looked pretty impressive there from Ström. 135. It's going to make him a contender. Top 10, 6th place, in fact. 7.5 points. A little bit more than 3 meters, 4 meters off the lead. And now the legend that is Noriaki Kasai at the age of 53. Superb appetite, but still able to deliver. Just a pity as the mist comes down into the bowl there. Difficult to see, but 128 meters. Noriaki, 18th, 14th, and 20th in the 3 competitions before today at Continental Cup level. And the Olympic champion from 2014 was Kamel Stock, and Noriaki missed out by a whisker. A great silver medal. Kasai into the top 10, 9th place. Julian Schmidt, really competitive from Julian. Now that backs up his trial round. Nothing to add or take away. 132.5. Jury have been really good, maintaining gate 18. And Julian Schmidt into 7th place. There's a real bundle of athletes within 4 or 5 meters of the lead, but Benjamin Østfold of Norway still with the advantage. And now another man on the comeback trail, Yukiya Sato. Sato, Yukiya, a winner of 2 winter competitions, one in Nizhny Tagil, one in Sapporo, but we're talking 2019, 2020. Now Keiichi Sato. Really puts 2 good efforts together. And that may be good enough to give him a opportunity for a second flight. 124.5, it's on the margins, which is why I said may. Nineteenth place at the moment. Just having a look at that, Keiichi Sato gets a letter Q by his name, but he's a long way back. He's 25 points off the lead. Now this is the man who should be able to make an impact, Alexander Schnitzler. Difficult to see that calculation line. 15th, 10th and 16th, his 3 results so far in Continental Cup, but that wouldn't be good enough to earn him a place back into the Polish World Cup team. 21st at the moment. 8 to come. Mathematically he's still alive, but David Kubacki well over 130 meters in the trial round, and Kubacki very good. A lot of power, good balance. That's much more encouraging. Good style marks. He's going to be right up there with the 3rd place. He's 4.5 points off the lead. That's just over 2 meters. 21-year-old Rok Masle. Good 6th place finish yesterday for the Slovenian. Has finished in the top 10 at World Cup level in Planica. And he is part of Robert Hogota's reservoir of up-and-coming talent. This will qualify. 131.5 meters. Enough distance here, but we'll have work to do. Fourth place. Backwind 3-meter compensation, which is why he's up to fourth equal place with Yukiya Sato. Clemens Joniak off the board yesterday in the first round. Better today. Joniak 21st yesterday. 5th and 7th in Ruka. And that shows you what this young Polish talent can deliver. Only 20, 7th in the Junior Worlds last season in Lake Placid. And Poland have got an athlete who has much promise. Fredrik Willemstad. Pretty experienced Norwegian. Has had his time in the World Cup. 25 top 30 finishes at World Cup level. But that will not earn him a place with Rune Velta, the head coach for the senior Norwegian team. Willemstad drops down the order. And now 3 Austrians and a Norwegian to come, and this is Clemens Eigner. This 32-year-old Austrian talent. And when it comes to the Continental Cup, he's dynamite. 29 times a winner at this level. Twice the overall champion. Yesterday, Clemens, respectable 4th. So far this season, 8th, 5th and 4th, so getting better. Now this could be interesting. Solveig Strand. Benjamin Erstfeld still at the top of the table. Eigner in 2nd place. Only 2 points, a meter behind. Good from Solveig Strand. 6th and 8th so far to earn 5th place in the Continental Cup rankings before this day began. Work to do, but he's within 3 meters of the lead. 2 to go in this first round. Both Austrian. Markus Müller, Junior World bronze medalist of 2022. 11th in Innsbruck. Last January, his best ever at World Cup, and Müller is a player. Markus Müller, now 23 years of age, 7th and 13th in Ruka, runner-up yesterday to his teammate Clemens Leitner. And Müller's within 2 meters of the lead, and so Clemens Leitner, best in the trial round. The winner yesterday, 10th, 9th in Finland. 11 wins at this level. He might not have the edge here, might still be Benjamin Erstfeld. 134 meters, the same distance as Erstfeld. Front wind deduction, can't lead, won't be far away. 10th place, and 5.5 points off the lead. So the honor of the first round goes to Norway's Benjamin Erstfeld, disqualified yesterday, and let's hope there are no more equipment problems of 24 hours ago. Erstfeld, who had illegal leg length by ½ centimeter, and that's why he was ruled out, and as a result has got a yellow card by his name. But he leads the competition ahead of the Austrian Clemens Eigner. Clemens Joniak of Poland back on form, ahead of Markus Müller. And then the Slovenian Ene Faletic ahead of David Kubacki. And they're all within 5 points Looking at the top 10, Clemens Leitner in the top 10, 5.5 points off the lead. And this is the state of play, remembering that only the best 30 go through. So 5.5 points separating the top 10, but 20 points separating the top 20 and the top 30, with Kurzak of Poland the last to make it, 28 points the spread to Jaroslav Kurzak. And now those who have finished their Continental Cup challenge here in Engelberg. These men, I'm afraid, are out of the competition. The next Continental Cup competitions come up in Sapporo, 10th and 11th of January in Japan, on the North Island. So some disappointment there for quite a few. And 15 minutes to go to the start of the final round. Pretty well at the top of the hour. So the best 30 will go in reverse order on this very misty morning here in Engelberg. Final round at 5 minutes past the hour. 5 minutes past 1 local time here in Engelberg, in central Switzerland, in the canton, Obwalden canton. Although you can't see it today, but surrounded by mountains rising to over 3,000 meters, including the Titlis mountain at over 3,200. Wonderful part of the world. Great tourist center. And the Benedictine Abbey, another real landmark here. So, just about 20 minutes, in fact, to the start of the final round. So we're going to take a little pause as the boys get ready, check the video, go back to their service teams, and make sure that everything is as it should be for the final round. The 30 who've qualified. And Benjamin Ersfeld is the man of the moment, leading the competition. Went early in the first round because he was disqualified yesterday, the 24-year-old. And looking for his 10th success today at this level, at Continental Cup level. So back with the second round just after the top of the hour.
Jose zijn vast. Wenn sie ein bisschen hübscher wäre, ja.
Well, once again, very good afternoon. Welcome to FIS TV here in Engelberg for the second and decisive round of this fourth Continental Cup competition of this brand new season. I'm David Goldstrom, together with the FIS team, and looking forward to your company for this competition. The best 30 from the first round going in reverse order, and here they are. World Cup points, not at stake, but Continental points most certainly are. 100 to the winner. And the man leading the Continental Cup rankings after 3 competitions is still Maxi Ortner, although he's not taking any part, but likely to be overtaken by whoever wins today, I think. Markus Müller, Clemens Leitner, Eigner of Austria, Østfold of Norway, all real contenders for success today, but they're not the only ones. Benjamin Østfold there looking for his 10th success at this level, the man who has won the overall Continental Cup title in his time, won in 2023. Maxi Ortner, the current leader, won the competition. And of course, this is the Winter Continental Cup, not to be confused with the summer one. Continental Cup competitions dating back to 1992. And this a very special day, not only from Continental Cup, but of course for the Four Hills, for the Vierschanzen, which get underway later today in Oberstdorf, and I'll be looking forward to your company for that. The 74th edition of that great competition, which dates back to 1953. And Oberstdorf absolutely buzzing. Here in Engelberg, a little brighter. The mist that was a bit frustrating during the first round in terms of being able to gauge the performance has lifted a little as the temperatures just lifted also. Gate 18 in the first round. And the 30 that have got through are separated by some 27, 28 points. That's about 15.5 meters. The top 20 separated by 11.5 meters. The top 10 by 3 meters. but literally the first three, there's barely a meter between the top three. Benjamin Ersfeld, and just behind him, Clemens Eigner, and also Klemens Juniak of Poland, who had a bit of an off day yesterday but has come back to form. Much better first effort from the Polish talent, puts him in third place. Looking further down to whet your appetite, Noriaki Kasai in the middle of the order, in the teens, as he has been in the previous competitions at this level, and still in a way hopeful that he might find a way to join the Japanese Olympic team in Predazzo in Milan Cortina Olympic Games of 2026. But sit back and enjoy this one. Jaroslav Krzyzak to get us underway. Krzyzak representing Poland. 33rd yesterday. Better today because he's actually in the points, which is really good news. Only 21, but so many youngsters in the lineup. Gate 18, maintained by the jury. Looking for 125 meters, the calculation line, not the right side of it. 116.5 meters means 8.5 meters of deductions for distance, and just over 200 points there, that threshold of respectability. Going far too early for his ability, Alexander Shisho, 29th at the halfway stage. Well, it's fair, but it's not likely to trouble those who are ultimately going to fight for the top honors on the podium here. 126.5 meters is positive territory. Alexander, though, well below his very best. Yet to get back into the World Cup and challenge for that first ever podium, which he missed so narrowly in Vickersund back in 2019. Remo Imhoff for Switzerland. Remo, only 22, came to note a couple of seasons ago when he was top 10 in the Junior Worlds and also got Winter Individual World Cup points, but has time on his side. Keiichi Sato shouldn't really be going this early. Keiichi, 15th in the Continental Cup rankings, 16th, 12th and 18th yesterday. And can he better 18th today? I wonder. He's going to have to produce something, and 125.5 meters won't be enough. A breath of backwind giving compensation points of 4.9. 3.6 points, of course, would be 2 meters, so a little bit more. Holds his ranking position, but remember, he's starting really early, and Yannick Wasser now to come for Switzerland. World Cup points this season in Engelberg just before Christmas on this very hill, the Gross Titlis, which takes its name from the mountain to the south of the town of Engelberg, which towers to 3,200 meters. Yannick Wasser, 22nd yesterday in the points again today. Similar territory. Yannick, 28th in the World Cup here. Now, one of the up-and-coming French lads, Alessandro Batby. Not too bad at all. Mid-20s. Top 15 in the Junior Worlds some 4 seasons ago in Lahti. And that's France. Okay, Batby yesterday 23rd. So 2 days running in the points. Norway next. Frederick Gran. Four points yesterday. Looking for a few more today. And Fred might drop a few places here. Third place. Still a long way to go. Decker Dean looking for a pick-me-up after a disappointing day yesterday. Decker. 37th, nothing yesterday. Better today, at least he's got into the final round. That'll cheer him up a little bit, but he hasn't threatened. Really difficult. We can't see them coming off the table, so really difficult to see whether the transition is early, whether it's late. And only 5th place. He will get pushed down a long way. But at least he's in the points, the American from Steamboat Springs. Frederick Willemstad is better than this position suggests. Started the day in 9th place in the Continental Cup rankings after 9th, 6th and 10th place finish yesterday. That's better. That's much more like it. This will take him to the front. 131 meters. So this is playing catch up. 237, but it is a total that's good but beatable. It can be surpassed. Enzo Milesi for France now. Only 0.1 of a point between him and Willemstad at the halfway point. That's not even your little toe in distance. And Milesi, not bad. Just remembering Willemstad 131 meters. Good style. This is that bit shorter. Now, where's Milesi gonna go? Breath of front wind, 4th place. So Willemstad of Norway still on the podium in the lead. Alessandro Batby, France in 2nd place. Keiichi Sato holds on to 3rd for the moment, but maybe not for much longer. Nicholas Bachlinger, good in the summer, but success in the summer doesn't necessarily guarantee victory in the winter. And needed a bit more, did Bachlinger. Nicholas, mid-20s, a lot of promise 4 years ago when he was winning the Junior Worlds, but struggling a little bit at the moment. Hannes Landerer to come next, and then the legend, Noriaki Kasai. I know that many of you will have tuned in just to see Noriaki. Hannes Landerer, though, worth watching. .127 plus a couple of meters for backwind. 2nd place, Willemstad holds on. And now Noriaki. So Kasai. 18th and 14th in Finland, 20th yesterday. Well, he's going to get some Continental Cup points, but he hasn't threatened. Disappointingly, you can see there, backwind compensation of just over 5 meters. That will mitigate a little bit, only 121 meters, which is why he's at 4th place at the moment. But a lot of men to come. So he's going to probably end up outside the top 20, so not the result he was looking for. Jules Gervais, France, his teammate Batby in 3rd place at the moment. Jules
auspacken. Dann Zeit 124 Meter, das heißt,
13th yesterday, 124 meters. Now, the reason he's ahead of Willemstad is his advantage over the Norwegian from the first round. Chauvet, 122.5 meters. That was in round one. And although he's 6-7 meters down, it was the advantage he was carrying forward. Lovrokos, at his very best, he's massacred this field. Problem is putting two good efforts together. Twice a World Championship team gold medalist with Slovenia. Just enough here. 239.4. That's only 0.3 ahead of Jules Chevre for Lovrokos, who really would like to get back into that Slovenian World Cup team. Now, Julian Schmidt might shake up the table here. Julian, who's been steady, 14th and 18th in Finland, 18th yesterday. Podium in Raznov on the normal hill there back in 2022, but capable, representing Austria. Not what I was expecting, actually, but you can see this backwind has strengthened a little bit. I'm not going to make that as an excuse, but only third. I think he'll be a little disappointed that he isn't leading at this point and holding his ranking position. Now, Jürgen Strøm for Norway. Jürgen. Possibilities here. Indeed. Over the calculation line into bonus point territory by 3.5 meters, and with the backwind support, Norway get the lead back there. Strøm, promising performance there from him, from the 25-year-old who was 7th yesterday. Now Felix Truns moved up the table, really improved in the second round. And Truns, I don't think it'll be too long before we see him back in the World Cup at 130 meters. Even though these boys will be missing the opening round in Oberstdorf, there will be opportunities to come in for maybe Garmisch on New Year's Day and Innsbruck and the Bergisel and Bischofshofen. Kilian Paer would be as keen as Felix Truns to get back to the World Cup. The world bronze medalist of 2019 on the Bergisel. And that's looking a little bit more encouraging. Kilian Paer, 12th yesterday, second at the moment. Switzerland 1 and 2. Strøm of Norway drops to third place. Lovrokos off the podium, and Jarkko Mata now for Finland. Jarkko, a little bit more encouraging yesterday, 9th place. Massively experienced Jarkko. 10 years since that 8th place, best ever in the World Cup in Lahti. Bit much to expect him to make up the deficit today, but he's 6-7 points off the lead at the halfway stage, like Kilian Paer. So 3-4 meters to find. which means that he really would need an effort of, well over 130 meters. The hill record here set by the junior world champion Stefan Embacher in the Engelberg competitions just before Christmas, 145 meters, extended it by half a meter. And an enforced pause now with the wind, the back wind just strengthening, and the jury wanting to make sure, quite right, that everybody has a safe but also a fair opportunity. Josef Schlaver, the technical director, supported by Nico Roth of Germany, Elias Dietrich, the Swiss chief of competition, who has all the excellent local knowledge. Those are the three who are making up making the decisions as to the gate changes, the pauses. So a little patience needed here. And just a reminder, at the halfway stage, Benjamin Østfold of Norway, disqualified yesterday but leading the competition today. Østfold, who did the double here in 2022, the weekend double, ahead of Clemens Eigner, Clemens Joniak of Poland in third place. The front three separated by a couple of points, a meter, so really tight. And then snapping at their heels, Markus Müller of Austria in fourth place, and then Faletic of Slovenia ahead of David Kubaski. Faletic really with a fantastic possibility of a personal best. So Kilian out for a second time of asking. 31 years of age now, Kilian. Runner-up in the World Cup in Russia, in Nizhny Tagil, and here we go. I should say Jarko Mata. Well, just looking for 125 meters, and he gets it by a meter. A little bit of backwind. Star mark's not too bad, but it's not going to win the day. Misses the podium. Felix Strunz from Kilian Paar, from Jürgen Strom. They stay the same, the top three. And now we're into the top 10. 5.5 meters separating the top 10 at the halfway stage. Clemens Leitner, yesterday's winner, throws the gauntlet down and surely takes the advantage. Only a point, half a meter's worth of backwind compensation, but in fact only third place. So no weekend double for Leitner. Strunz of Switzerland moves into the top 10. Really encouraging for Felix. Felix, who was 11th yesterday, now looking up at Sølve Strand of Norway. Excellent, excellent. And Sølve Strand for Norway definitely has got the advantage. 138.5 meters, that's as long as we've seen today. You can see that breath of front wind that came in, really helpful. It'll cost him a meter, but no worries. He's 5-6 points ahead of Felix Strunz, who's second, Kilian Paar third, Clemens Leitner off the podium, Yukiya Sato, Japan. Also long, back on his heels. Got the distance, not quite the style. Again, front wind deduction of half a meter, but with the advantage over Strand. Yukiya Sato with the advantage.
Ja, Sato. Next, from
8
Slovenia,
to go.
Masle.
Rock Masley getting ready for Slovenia.
Und so ab jetzt
The same points differential as Yukiya Sato at the halfway stage,
realisiert. So einen richtigen
but required to take a pause.
der hat Chance aus Podest zu
Rock
gewinnen, auch aus Position 6.
encouraging 6th place finish yesterday, 11th in the Continental Cup rankings, and that front wind has come in, so gate 18 now reduced to gate 17. What that means is gate compensation points in favor of the athletes, which can cancel out any front wind deduction or indeed add to any backwind compensation. Rock Masley tucks down. Pretty decent effort from Rock there. 131. There's the 5.1 points of compensation. Top 5. Oh, David Kubacki, a big favourite. Polish fans will really miss him at Oberstdorf today. He could come back, of course, for some of the later rounds of the Four Hills. That was subpar, really. This will drop him down the order, Kubacki. Third yesterday, no podium today. Yukiya Sato from Solveig, Felix Trunz still holding on to third place. Looking for a personal best, Valetic of Slovenia. It's not bad, but I'm not convinced that he's going to make the podium. 129, 5th place. And the top 4 stay the same. Sato, Strand, Trunz, Paya, and Valetic, but it's still a real improvement for Valetic. 9th yesterday. Can he get a personal best? This is Markus Müller, really showing beautiful finish, straight back, beautiful spacing, solid as a rock. Markus Müller, 23 years of age, runner-up yesterday to Clemens Leitner, 133.5. This is good enough to put him into first place with 3 to come. Austria with the advantage now. Sato, Japan to second, Strand to third, and Trunz to fourth. Now Clemens Joniak off the boil yesterday, but back in the picture today. Joniak, 5th and 7th in Finland. Really good results in Ruka on the big hill there, but outside the top 20 yesterday. And he misses the podium today, but it's better. 2 to go. Clemens Eigner, the prolific scorer in Continental Cup. Eigner looking today for a 30th win at this level. The 2nd tier of world ski jumping. Chasing Markus Müller and Eigner, and Müller separated by a whisker, 0.1 of a point. Müller, 133.5 advantage. Müller now can't be worse than second. And there's only one man who can take it away from Markus Müller, and it's Benjamin Ersvald. Winner here in 2022, not once but twice at Continental Cup level. Ersvald disqualified yesterday. Chalk and cheese, 0 to hero. And Ersvald, tremendous power. And The distance, I think, is going to be sufficient. 139.5 with front wind deduction. And Benjamin Ørsvold of Norway, at the age of 24, records his 10th individual win at Continental Cup level, 277.9, and today belongs to Norway. Benjamin, a best in World Cup of a 5th place finish in Villingen last season. And so we come to the end of this Continental Cup weekend in Engelberg. And there, congratulations to Benjamin Ørsvold, to Marcus Müller, Yukiya Sato, encouraging to see him on the podium. Strand, solid for Norway, 2 Norwegians in the top 5. Clemens Joniak, 21st yesterday, but now back into 5th place. Felix Truntz up to 6th place for Switzerland, ahead of his teammate Kilian Payer. Then Clemens Eigner and Ene Faletic in 9th place, equaling his finished position of yesterday, with Slovenian teammate Rok Mazlej completing the top 10, and Jaroslav Kurzak there getting the 1 point for finishing in 30th place. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Engelberg. Thank you very much for being with us on FIS TV. It's great to have you aboard. Unfortunately, outside the top 30, no Continental Cup points. And the next Continental Cup competitions in Sapporo, 10th and 11th January. Today, competition number 4 of the 24 in the second tier, the Continental Cup. But of course, all eyes now will move this afternoon to Oberstdorf in the Allgäu in Germany for the opening round of the Four Hills, the Vierschanzen, the qualification round. Domen Preeltz very much the hot favourite to regain winning ways in Oberstdorf, but it's never that easy. So on behalf of FIS TV, thank you for your company, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And if you can, we'd be delighted for your company in Oberstdorf this afternoon. The town is absolutely buzzing. The Four Hills in its 74th edition, set to go. So we look forward to that now. From Engelberg, though, thank you for joining us for Continental Cup action. From myself, David Goldstrom, and the team, bye-bye from Switzerland.